Today I'm going to be showing you how to paint furniture. I get so many calls, so many emails about which products to use and how to prep the furniture correctly that I decided today I'm going to show you my favorite way to do it and what gives you the best results and the quickest way to get the job done. It doesn't matter if your piece is old, new, vintage, or antique. No matter what your furniture looks like, how many layers of paint, or if it's just bare wood. We're going to go through the steps, which is the prepping, the priming, the top coat, and the sealer. Now there's different products you can use to do this project. And one is going with the chalk paint, which has a built-in primer. There's no need to apply a coat of primer. You simply just put it on. And the alternate route would be to use an oil-based primer with a latex top coat. Now the downside of using the chalk paint is it only comes in select colors, so if there's a particular color that you really want, or you have old paint lying around the house that you want to use, the alternate solution is definitely the way to go. Now there is a little bit of prepping involved before we can open the can of paint. We need to make sure that, especially if it's old, that it's degreased and cleaned. And then we definitely need to give it a light sanding. Even if the chalk paint says you don't have to sand, you can just throw the paint on, don't believe it. It's always better to be safe than sorry. So with that being said, we're gonna give it a light sand. Sandpaper comes in 8.5 by 11 sheets, and you just wanna cut it in half and cut it in half again. And fold it into 3 sections. This is 220 grit sandpaper. And you just want to go ahead and give the whole thing a light sand. You always want to make sure to remove the hardware. In this case, we're keeping the hardware, so we're going to paint over it. You want to remove the drawer, that out of the way, and start with the base. First thing we're going to do is give it a coat of oil primer. And when you use oil primer, you always want to use a China bristle brush. It will eliminate brush strokes and give you a smoother finish. My favorite product, this is a multi-use product. I use this on so many jobs. It's kind of my secret weapon. It is my oil-based primer, but it comes in an odorless finish. It's by Zinnser. So you want to pour some of your primer into a container. And I love my little handy pail. It's great because it has a handle. And just enough. You want to wipe away any excess, also in the chine of the can. Then we can start priming. Now remember, when you have a wooden piece, you always want to brush in the direction of the grain. Start at the top and then work your way down to the bottom of the furniture. Just want to keep painting, make sure you keep going in the direction of the grain. If there's some hard to reach areas, you can kind of just push your brush in and then just level it out so it's always going in the direction of the grain. This is really simple. Anyone can do this. It's just a matter of getting the paint on, not too thick, not too light, but enough so it's going to cover and give us a nice bonding agent for the top coat. Now when you're painting the drawers, you want to make sure that you address the sides of the drawer, only because when you're pulling them out, you do want the same finish to match the outside. So just doing the drawer in the same direction as we did the base, working in the direction of the grain. Our primer is dry, and it's always a good idea to go back in and give it a light sanding. Depending on the wood, it will sometimes raise the grain, so we want to knock that down and just give it a light sand. So the sanding's all done. We wiped down all the sanding dust. We're now ready to apply our first coat of finish. And I'm using Benjamin Moore Satin Impervo. It's my favorite trim paint to use. It's also great for furniture. It has that very low sheen. It's very durable. It goes on nice and smooth and gives a really nice appearance. Always remember to apply the paint going in the direction of the grain. Now I chose this bright teal color. It's great for brightening up any space, adds a nice pop of color, and just makes the space more fun. So this is a water-based paint, so I switched my brush from the China bristle, which we used on the oil, to a nylon bristle brush. Just finished giving it the first coat of finish, and you want to wait till it dries, 4 to 6 hours in between coats. And because this already has a built-in sheen on it, there's no need to put an extra sealer. However, if we were going with the Annie Sloan chalk paint, you would need to give it a sealer. And I know she offers the wax, but an alternative to the wax is to actually use any water-based polyurethane. You want to make sure it's water-based so it doesn't yellow. It's a lot more inexpensive than the wax that comes with the chalk paint, and you actually have the opportunity to select a flat sheen all the way up to a semi-gloss and high gloss sheen. So this is our final product, and I hope this answers some of your questions about painted furniture. If you have any other questions, please leave a comment below. Thanks for watching, and happy painting.